So welcome to the line, guys. I want to make sure we have new Truong. We have a guest speaker tonight. I saw her on the line. Yes, great. New would love to see your face, so I know you're there. There she is. But before we get started with our guest speaker, I'm gonna be your tour guide tonight, and we're gonna bring New kind of in and out in the midst of some of the presentation today. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear her story and her journey. We're going to start with me and give you a little bit of background, maybe why you even want to listen to what we have to say, and then really dive into some content and bring New in for dialogue, kind of like just a conversation. And what I would ask is that if you find this information interesting or compelling, feel free after the presentation, be sure to reach out to the person who invited you to the overview, and definitely go to them for your questions. They can follow up. We also, what I do want to say up front is that this is for sure a business presentation. However, we would not have the incredible opportunity we do with this business without the phenomenal product line. So if you find that this is a compelling business presentation, but you want to learn more about the products, we have an entire product overview tomorrow night. So stay tuned and come in tomorrow to actually learn the science and the why behind the products. But tonight, we really want to cast a vision around this whole business of the 21st century, and that's what we're going to dive into tonight. So having said that, I'm going to kind of take a step back and just say that, and share with you guys my story before we dive into any slides or anything like that, and say that, whoever invited you to the call tonight, for whatever reason, thinks that you would be a good fit for this opportunity. So I would ask that before we really start on this journey together in the presentation, that you come to this with an open mind. Because if you were interested in a side hustle or a secondary income stream, what you hear tonight may not be packaged the way you thought it would be. I know it wasn't for me when I was first presented it. And so I'm forever grateful that I came to it with still an open mind. I'm going to close down the participant box here, and I'm going to dive into sharing my screen in just a second. You guys bear with me, gotta love technology. And here we go. So here's the slides for tonight. So we are going to be talking about the business of the 21st century. Dr. New Truong will be my guest speaker here in just a couple of minutes. So let me just go ahead and dive into my story and why I'm here on the line with you on a Tuesday night at 8:30. It all starts for me with someone who actually introduced me to these products and this product line. I was a burnt out corporate professional. That's me and the pink dress. What you can't see that I can tell you is that I was a traveling working mom, 2 kids in diapers, was a high paid corporate professional working a lot of hours. And I was exhausted and I was burnt out. And that is a fact. And I think that many of us start to climb the corporate ladder, climb our careers, start trading more time for money. And before you know it, we're giving more of ourselves to our careers, our children, and leaving really nothing for ourselves. And I was kind of at a crossroads in my health and in my career. I had climbed Mount Everest as a medical science liaison director, whatever that means. For a lot of you guys, it's just a very clinical leader role, covering like half the country. And I found that I just couldn't keep up. I was exhausted. And even though I was a foodie, as far as being focused on health and nutrition, being on the road a lot, it was hard. It was hard to adhere to that. And what I will say too, is I was trading a lot of time for money, meaning I had a lot of financial success. I had a big paycheck, but I had no control over my time. I was financially successful, but I was not financially free. The corporation told me when I could take time off, and when I couldn't, and when I had to travel and when I couldn't. I had no control over that. And like many of you, in the midst of where we are right now in economic distress, I was, cyclically experiencing consolidations and layoffs, and that lack of sleep and wonder if our division was next was always kind of in the forethought of my mind. Now, what happened in the midst of all of that? By word of mouth, a good friend introduced me to these products and the product line. And I'd seen her journey, not only with the products, but I saw her retire from her high-powered corporate career to pursue entrepreneurship with the company that she had started out with the nutrition. And I thought she was a little bit crazy to have taken that leap, but I also was desperate to get control of my health with the ease of convenience of the nutrition she had to offer. So with an extremely skeptical eye about the business, I was open to the products. And what you can see to the left in the green is a 6-month transformation on the products. Completely lit me up from the inside out. And if you want to hear more about the science of the products and what they do, again, we'll be talking about that tomorrow night. But within 6 months of really honing in on nutritional cleansing and detoxification, I was able to strip away a ton of inflammation and cortisol and stress. And I was able to get my body alkaline and detoxify it. And what you see to the left is a thriving mother, leader, wife, operating on all cylinders, showing up better at work, at home, you name it, energetically, just a cleaner, healthier, happier person. Fast forward 3 years, and I'll give you a little bit in between. Over to the far right is where the third child was born. So what happened for me in those 3 years is I leaned in with an open mind, and I learned the business model we're going to talk a little bit about today. It didn't happen overnight. I didn't leave my career overnight. But I learned, and I was coachable in how to share these products and this business model organically and naturally. And over a period of 2 years, I was able to build out a 6-figure income for myself passively in the pockets of my time around my day job. By my 3rd year, that little one over to the right was born, and I had the choice. I had freedom because I was financially free. The passive income of Isagenix allowed me to pay off my college loan debt, which was significant, and match my corporate income, and allowed me to retire from corporate America altogether. So that's me over to the right. I'm now unemployable. August 30th marks 3 years that I've been an entrepreneur online and have left corporate America. And I've lived more life in the last 3 years than I have in the last 10. And I have more memories with my family and my children in those last 3 years than I do in the last 10. So having said that, we are working differently. I have to take a sip of water, but on that note, think about even just in the past 3 months, how differently are we working? I think people are realizing we can do a lot online from home, right? And we can be efficient. And I want to talk a little bit about just the economy and the state of work right now. How many of you are still looking at the face of not going into work, back into work yet? Some of you may not go back to work for 6 months, a year. Maybe you're in a staggered reentry. But what people are finding out is a lot of them, minus the schooling of your children that we're struggling with right now, have a little bit more time, pockets of time. I have this conversation with many people who they don't have a commute anymore. They are able to deliver great work online from home. And they're also curious about a secondary income stream because they're not comfortable in the current economy, and they're not comfortable with their one main stream of income. And if that job will exist in 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, where we're headed with the economy. So the way we work is changing. The way we bring in an income and being open to multiple income streams is changing. People's eyes are open. You know, Forbes said not too long ago that there's no downside to a side hustle. There's only benefits and building out more than one single source. I actually did a poll on LinkedIn yesterday with my network and asked, who of you believes that outside your 9 to 5, you can still build multiple streams of income? And resounding 100% of people voted that they could, which goes to show me even 2 or 3 years ago, my network didn't think that. They think that corporate, like trading time for money that we're going to talk about tonight was their way of building an income with no secondary plan, right? So let's talk about the future and look at some major companies that have really broken the mold. The largest transportation company does not own a vehicle. It's Uber. And right now they're not even really delivering people. They're delivering food, right? The largest hotel company doesn't own a hotel. It's an Airbnb, right? The fastest growing trend to shop is not getting in your car. How many Amazon boxes have arrived at your doorstep like today, right? We're shopping and ordering everything online. Now imagine being able to own an online health and wellness franchise literally from your phone, where it's a one-stop shop that you teach people how to order phenomenal products that are results oriented. They were purchasing anyway, all from one wholesale account online. Think of it as like your Costco of like high-end health and wellness, results-oriented products, right? So the economy is evolving. We've already touched on a little bit of this, but just the gigs that we talked about. Like I have a coaching business online, right? Like many of you have side gigs, and I know pharmacists do medical writing and life coaching and consulting. People are open to gigging, right? But here is the thing. Most people who have gigs are still trading time for money. They're still trading time for money, right? And this is where herein lies network marketing. For a lot of you, you have a 9-to-5 where you are trading time for money. Let me cast a vision to you, the opportunity to build out an income producing asset around your 9-to-5 that doesn't depend on you putting work in every day to create the income that can create a legacy for you, right? I wasn't open to this and didn't understand it 5 years ago working my high-powered corporate job. Honestly, my nose was up in the air and I thought I was overqualified, and that was for other people, right? And the professionals are coming. I'm telling you now, there are significant amounts of physicians coming in droves whose their surgeries are being canceled, right? They're not having the patient load. Hospitals are seeing a reduction in patient admissions, practices, doctor's offices. They're not seeing patients right now. So this is impacting everyone. And now people are open more than ever. So why network marketing? It's location independent. Here we all are on the computer today. I'm headed to New Hampshire for a week. I can run this business from anywhere all over the world when the travel restrictions aren't in place. It's flexible. I tell people all the time, I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. A lot of people don't know what that means. It means that my business is worked around my life. Right now it's chaotic with the kids and the lack of schooling and me having to work my schedule around that and my husband's career, but yet I'm able to create a massive income around our lifestyle, right? Uncapped residual income. We're going to talk about that tonight. And just leveraging the power of social networking on whatever platform you choose. Right now, in the midst of quarantine, it's never been more important and capable of doing these types of things, and low barrier to entry. So why health and wellness, right? So I want to drill down for you guys. I want to cast a vision. You know, the broad picture is network marketing as an opportunity to create out an asset. But now I want to drill down within network marketing. There's all types of industries within network marketing, but I'll tell you that the health and wellness industry, there is a $500 billion opportunity in sales across the world. We are in 18 countries. People are acutely focused on their health and their wellness right now, which is why our company is in absolute vertical growth. And I'll show you the numbers in a minute. So I just mentioned we're growing globally, and the timing I just spoke to, and the focus of people being focused on health and wellness. Now, this is the positive feedback loop is something I want to talk for a hot minute about. I want you to think back to the woman in the beginning in the pink dress who was inflamed. She was exhausted. She was on a hamster wheel. I was on a hamster wheel to work harder, to make more money, to fulfill my life's dreams and pay for the things that I wanted. And in the process of pursuit of that money, I was losing time and my health, right? It's a negative feedback loop. Let me cast a vision to getting into a business where the first thing you do is put your oxygen mask on and take care of yourself and get yourself healthy, get yourself glowing energetically so that you can show up better in life, perhaps show up better in your career, perhaps have excess energy to now build out a secondary business that you thought you didn't have the time or energy for because you weren't operating on all pistons. And what happens, and what happened for me, was creating that energy, creating that health, created an opportunity and a wedge for me to start building this business. And building that business created an income stream that ultimately set me free from the job that was driving me into the ground, creating that negative feedback loop. I broke the negative feedback loop and created a positive feedback loop by getting myself healthy, by creating a secondary income stream, which allowed me to break free of the corporate role that gave me the freedom to take better care of myself. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm not saying you have to leave your job. We have a number of people who do this on the side as a secondary income stream. But it still creates a positive feedback loop and ultimately space for you, your health, and your life with that secondary income. So why Isagenix? So now we've drilled down health and wellness. Now why Isagenix? Again, I'll underscore we're a health and wellness business opportunity where there's a $500 billion opportunity in sales globally. We're in global expansion. We just opened up in numerous countries last week. We've just merged with another company we've just acquired that's gained us access and entry into numerous countries. So we're in absolute vertical growth momentum. Our company month over month is in 100% vertical growth in sales right now. There's never been a better time. We're a results-driven company based on science. I encourage you to come to the overview tomorrow night. As a PharmD in the medical affairs industry, I can assure you I would not have gotten into this if I couldn't get behind it, right? If I couldn't look my clients in the face and say that without a shadow of a doubt, these are clinically backed with incredible data and incredible results, I wouldn't be here. Elite mentorship and culture. We have phenomenal training and onboarding, and the compensation model is unsurpassed. Year after year, month after month, we get approached by other top leaders from other network marketing companies because they're blown away at how advanced and fair our compensation model is. So I spoke to this for a minute earlier, but I just want to underscore that we have ridiculously relentless clinical research that you can go pull. You can literally go journal search yourself and find incredible data that we've done with third parties outside of Isagenix. Results you can't get anywhere else. Undeniable results that are clinically proven and clinically backed. So having said that, I'm going to pause for a minute. And I want to, I'm going to bring New here in just a second. And what I really want to underscore here is what you guys heard was that the whole reason I came into this was because of word of mouth with someone that I knew, that I trusted. I was incredibly skeptical, but I trusted her. And she got me on board, and it completely changed my life physically, and obviously financially it has too. I want to bring New on now to speak, and I'd love, New, for you to share, your initial journey. So New is a pharmacist who works full-time with 2 little kids, and we found each other on LinkedIn earlier this year, and she was open to the opportunity, and she was open to taking her health to the next level. And New, I would love for you to just share with everyone really how we connected and what made you lean in, and maybe just even a little bit about your product journey up front.
Thank you for the introduction. Are you able to hear me okay? It's kind of nervous in front of everybody for my first debut on why I joined the company, but pretty much I think, are you able to still hear me okay? Yes? Yes? So me and Melissa met was through LinkedIn. This was mentioned earlier this year, and pretty much I was very skeptical. I watched her journey, and we connected through LinkedIn and saw her journey, and kind of like step back and seeing how she do, and then pretty much it's just as a mom, we kind of and I'm sure other hardworking dads feel the same way. You kind of feel guilty for kind of treating yourself or take care of yourself. You're always the last one to take care. But when I kind of like, well, you know what? If we take care of everybody else and we're not taking care of ourselves first, we're not going to really be there and be 100% show up in our life for our kids or our loved ones. So when I said yes after we connected with Melissa, I'm so glad that I joined this amazing team, and this business opportunities that I want to share with everyone because of this amazing product that has really changed my life and my family life because of the result-oriented and clinical, back data with our product. And then also, it's just pretty much how my journey started was my own experience with going through after having two kids, being a working mom full time, and after doing the nutritional rebalance system, I was able to not only have lots of energy, show up as a better wife, as a better mom, and working as a 12-hour shift in a hospital and still doing my detox and cleanse was still, is amazing. And it just changed not only your life, but it just make you in a better person and want to be able to help others. And other people see you change and they just want to see what is it that you're taking that has changed you. So from my family to my friends and coworkers and their family, it's just a word of mouth how really this whole journey started. And not only it's just a deep down, I always have my heart and passions in health and wellness, and to be able to help many patients. Of course, that's why we went to pharmacy school and became a doctor in pharmacy, and to be able to help massively help other people. What better way than to align ourselves with this incredible company in a global e-commerce in health and wellness that has helped many people like myself and many people that pretty much are, if you're open, then this journey is all for you, and it will change not only physically, your financial, if you're open to that opportunity. I don't know if that's enough, Melissa.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing it. I think I really wanted to underscore the power of just word of mouth and the power of her being with to really getting on that journey and seeing if it really was everything that we claim that it is. And it absolutely is. And so I love that. I love that you've spoken to that. And the thing is, and this is what I'm going to go into next, because I know we're wondering, well, what does the income opportunity look like? Like why, how does it create financial freedom in the pockets of people's time? Now, back in just a couple of minutes, just talk about why you're now pursuing for the business and what you do with your family. So going through farm. I lost you guys. Are you still there? I think I must have a bad connection. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we lost you for a second. Sorry. You're back.
Let's see. Let me see. Close this out. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Is it slow though?
Right now you're good.
All right, let me see if no one's streaming in my house right now because everybody's asleep. So I don't know what's going on. All right, well, you guys tell me if you lose me again. So you can hear me okay? All right, let me share my screen again. So Isagenix has been around since 2002. We've got more than 600,000 global customers. Can you hear me? Am I still sounding kind of funny?
Just a little bit, but we can hear you. It's a little bit
Man, I don't know
slow.
what to do about it. Hmm. All right, I'm going to keep talking, but if I'm like, if you guys can't hear me, I don't know what to do. Okay, so over 25 countries now, right? This slide's a little old. We look at the Better Business Bureau rating; it's A+, and where we are in global revenue, we're eclipsing we're approaching $1 billion a year in sales. So just some statistics, and I told you I would allude to kind of the growth of the company being in absolute vertical momentum, which is something you're looking for when you're looking for an opportunity. You want to see that momentum so you can jump in and be a part of it. So what, as far as product line, I will just underscore that we are a overall health and wellness store. We have vitality and beauty, the health and the
Melissa.
that you can quickly and easily.
Melissa, sorry, you are coming and going again. I think now you're froze. Sorry, guys. I think this because in Charlotte there was a storm, a really strong one, and I think that is affecting connections. Let's see. Elisa, let's find her.
Tell me if this works better. I'm streaming from my phone now. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes.
I don't know. Okay, we're going to stream from my phone. Here we go. Here we go. All right, guys. So here's the thing. Here we go. Our product line, there's targeted solutions in all of the health and wellness arena, even performance, which is something I pointed out earlier. But let's dive let's spend the next couple of minutes on the compensation model. You're probably wondering, how was I able to break free from corporate America in 2 years? How was I able to go from zero to over $100,000 in 2 years? The key is I didn't do it by myself. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And that's what I want to cast a vision to you about. I was in linear income in corporate America, where I showed up, I did my job, I got a salary, right? I was trading my time for money, and the moment I wasn't there, I wasn't getting paid. When I had my child and went on maternity leave, they said, you're worth 70% of your salary for 6 weeks, and that's it. The longer you stay out, you get $0. So that multiple six-figure income you have, you can kiss it goodbye for as long as you're on maternity leave, even though you've built out and trained all of these people who are delivering incredible work for the business and operating because of you, right? So be it. You lose it, right? Residual, which is Isagenix, I built out this income producing asset while I was working full time. And it pays you indefinitely, and we'll talk about this, but I want to cast a vision to you because when I came home from maternity leave, I'd already built out over 6 figures. So when my corporation said, well, at 6 weeks, we're not paying you anymore, so you're probably going to want to come back, I said, well, no, thanks. I'm going to stay out for 4 months because legally I'm allowed to take that time, and I don't depend on this income. I'm not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. I'm financially free. And whether you pay me or not, I've built out, I didn't say this to my boss, obviously, but I was happily thinking this in my head. I don't need you. Like, how freeing is that? Like, imagine being able to say, if there's a disaster or you need to take time off, a parent is sick, right? A child is severely sick. You want to come home on maternity leave and not be I've got friends who put thousands of dollars on their credit cards just to stay home with their kids till they got back to work and had to hustle it back off, right? So that is the difference between linear and residual. And I'm going to talk you through what the residual model looks like. Many of you are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki. If you're on this line, you're probably interested in entrepreneurship and how you can create a bigger income for yourself. So Robert Kiyosaki really talks about the cash flow quadrant. for money, the employee or the self-employed, right? The employee is trading time for money. The self-employed is trading time for money. This is where 95% of the population lives, but only 5% of the wealth. Can you guys still hear me okay?
It's slow again.
Just Zoom, like the bandwidth is just bad with Zoom. It's like, I think Zoom's being like taken over right now. Okay, so 95% of the world trades time for money. Whether you're a surgeon or a mechanic, if you don't show up, you don't get paid, right? The right-hand side of the quadrant, we're building out an asset. We're building out residual income, legacy income. These are the business owners and the investors. Most of us think we don't qualify for that because either we don't have the capital to invest or the knowledge to invest or the willing to take risk to participate in an opportunity that literally pays you while you sleep. And that's the vision I want to cast to you, is that network marketing is the greatest equalizer of them all and gives you the opportunity to actually make money while you sleep. Now, what Robert Kiyosaki says is only 5% of the population lives over on the residual side. I mean, I'm sorry, only 5% of, the population, but 95% of the wealth, 95% of the wealth. Now, I don't know about you, but I would much rather be on the right-hand side of the quadrant where I'm the least important variable and I don't have to show up to work every day to make the income. Now, what I will say is I did the work. It's not that you don't work. The thing that drives me nuts is people who think network marketing is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. It's a work hard, just like you would for your corporate job, but do it for 3 to 5 years and be set free for the rest of your life. See, I would prefer burning the candle at both ends for 2 to 5 years to capitalize on the compensation model to then be set free for the rest of my life versus muddling along miserable in complacency in my corporate job for 40 years, right? So I worked hard, and I deserve the network of over 5,000 people that I have in my network who are consuming these results-oriented products on the daily, and I get to participate in the profit share of the company, which is 6% on the weekly while it's ordered, and we're going to talk about that. So how does Isagenix have the cash flow that Robert Kiyosaki presents? Linear and residual. I'm going to start with linear. On the linear side, there's introductory bonuses when you're introducing people and getting started. There's rank advancements as you move up in leadership titles. This is traditional sales. There's leadership pools. I've got some women on my team who crushed them this past month for their own personal growth in the business. But guys, this is all great, like icing on the cake money, but it's still linear. They still had to do the work and they got paid once to do it, right? What I'm in love with is the right-hand side that pays my mortgage. That's the residual profit share that the company pays you week over week, month over month, because you created a network of mass consumption, okay? So let me explain to you a little bit about how residual and leverage work in our business model. Residual means you pay over and over again. It's a royalty. It's just like a one-hit wonder on a song or a TV show, right? And we think that's just for famous people, but it's not. I'm here to tell you, when you build out a network of humans who are consuming a results-oriented product that's emotional, and again, results-oriented and like literally changes people's lives, they will reorder every single month. We have a reorder rate of 87%. But what happens with our company is they give you a 6% profit share of every order that goes through that happens because of you or the network that you introduce to Isagenix. So quickly, that profit share, when I started as 1, I shared with 2 people. Now I have 3. Those 3 people share with a couple people, and all of a sudden the geometric progression starts to happen. 3 goes to 9, right? And so what happens is the company is paying me 6% of their profit share every single week. And as your network gets larger, the shipments get larger every single week, and your paycheck residually, whether I show up and introduce another person to the business ever again or not, or the product, those shipments are going out and the company's giving me royalties. Now, let me point something out to you about profit share. Many of you have a profit share in corporate America too. I had a profit share in corporate America, right? But here's the difference. Let me ask you, when are you eligible for your profit share with your corporate job? With me in my corporate job, I had to wait 3 years for my profit share to vest, meaning I would have earned the profit share in real time, but the company would say, yeah, it's yours, but we're going to put it over here and you can't have it for 3 more years. For 3 more years. You can have it 3 years from now. Isagenix pays you your profit share every single week. Every single week. That is something I just love about the company. Secondly, so we talked about residual because that's a residual pay that comes out. I want to talk about leverage. Okay. There's a reason there's 5,000 people in my network. And it's not because I introduced 5,000 people to Isagenix. That would be impossible. Okay. I introduced people who have also introduced people who have also introduced people because they love the results. They're interested in the business, and the network starts to propagate and grow. And so we say we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. So I want to give you guys some hard numbers. I've personally enrolled 250 people, max, over 5 years. So where do those 5,000 people come from? Geometric progression. I introduced people who introduced people who introduced people. And new Truong is one, right? Who's come into the organization. She's run to Crystal Manager and she's building a phenomenal business within her own network. And that is the power of leverage, where in your traditional linear day-to-day job, you trade all of your time for all of the money. And in the leverage world of network marketing, it's a lot of people doing a little bit of work, 10% of the work for the global profit, okay? So how do you get started? You simply open a wholesale account. You choose your health and wellness journey. It may be performance. It may be healthy living. Maybe you've got the quarantine 15. I know a lot of people do. This is a great place to start. Start on your journey. Redirect your spending from the products you're consuming now in your pantry to our health and wellness products that are clinically backed, driven by results, and go on your journey. Experience the Isagenix difference, and then begin to ask yourself, who do I know that needs the quarantine 15 attacks, right? Who do you know that needs a financial makeover? Who do you know is going through consolidation right now? Who do you know is open to a plan B? I can tell you that most people that I connect with on LinkedIn right now are open to a plan B. Or just simply, who do you want to partner with? Who do you want to have fun with? I've gotten to a point in my business where I get to choose who I work with, and I love News Energy. We connected the first time we talked. I have a blast working with her. We have a lot in common. So I love the business model of choosing who you work with. Now, having said that, I want to go back to New for just a second. And really, New, I would love for you, now that I've talked a little bit about the business model and residual income, I think for some people it's easy to be like, oh, well, it's easy for her to say because she's left her corporate career and she's building this business. But I didn't in the beginning, right? For 3 years, I built this business in the pockets of my time. I would love for you, New, to just share with the audience the feasibility of doing this in the pockets of your time, because you've already crushed Crystal Manager. You've climbed the ranks. You've recruited a number of people into your organization with 2 small kids. You've made a good side income. Can you share with folks why you're making this work, why you're making time for it, and what you foresee this business doing for you in the future? If we didn't lose her. I see that she's on.
Oh. You able to hear me now?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Let me see. I guess
There
something
you go.
happened. I think it's our Zoom connections that we're having this little what do you call it, the stagnant or the interruptions. But really, the reason why I'm so excited about this business is that the opportunities is that I want to kind of go back to is like my why originally, why I started, and why before and after. It's been like before Isagenix, I was all burnout, even though I was, successful full time, having, but busy, a working mom, but not having that energy. It's just that lacking of, there's something that was missing, And so after going on my own journey, not only I was lit up from the inside, had more energy than ever, and then not to say that also my preeclampsia with my second baby, going through this journey, my blood pressure has improved. And we don't make claims as far as with Isagenix that it does any cure or anything to any health or illness. But because of this incredible nutrition that we flood in our body, I was able to get pretty much my own body restore as a reset. We call it nutritional rebalance. And we did pretty much, my doctors recently has like, they asked me, what have I done? They not only saw that my weight loss have gone down, my stress level, of course, have gone down because of our incredible product, and my blood pressure has improved. And they say, whatever you're doing, it works. Because when the first time when before the COVID, I asked her, I was like, what are the chances of me getting off my blood pressure med? Because even though as a healthcare professional, my goal was to get off of it. And I want to take an approach of well-being, not just for appeal for every illness, appeal for every symptom. So when she said no, most of the time people don't really get off of it. So when I heard that, I said, I'm gonna be the one wanting to get off of the respond that after this COVID, I recently had a checkup, and she said that whatever you're doing is awesome. So I share with her that I'm on this nutritional with Isagenix, incorporating the intermittent fasting and all that. She said, but now we know, and she said that we know for a fact that nutrition has a big impact on our lives. And I said, yes, for sure, because we are overfed but undernourished. So it has been amazing. So I just want to kind of that business opportunities that I'm so ecstatic about is that, and it's so exciting for what the future has for a lot of, and for myself included, is that I'm a working, mom with the two kids. I'm able to work around my busy schedule after my 12-hour shift, putting the kids to sleep. I'm able to do it on the pocket of my time on my phone. So even with just having a phone, you're able to do and e-commerce, health, and wellness globally, if you choose and if you're open to. And so your possibility not only helping people that are being furloughed right now. So one of my recent furlough practitioner, like a NP we just enrolled, were able to implement this program into her functional medicine practice to help her, because she now, she said that in her own words, I've been in practice for 30 years. I've never been in furlough. So what I see going forward, not only being able to help not only many people in this, COVID pandemic, that are people being hours are being cut, being furloughed, not only helping them, having the product shipped to their home, and then also be able to help them financially thrive in this trying time. So it's very not only for a pandemic, but you always have to think of you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, and always have to have multiple stream of income and a plan B, because we all been there, in multiple industry, in different corporate, and when the company decided when they have a hardship, they have to make some cuts, and I understand that's a business aspect, right? So they're gonna have to cut labor, they're gonna have to cut costs. So your hours will eventually cut cost, they're gonna eventually cut down, and then you might be laid off. And that's like the unfortunate. Even my friends, you know, they got laid off for a year. Just imagine that, and be able to offer something that helping them feel better and making money by helping someone else feel better. What better way to align you with a company like that? And so I see that, you know, with being the industries of where we're heading, it's a fantastic and amazing opportunity. And it's really all up to you on how you kind of position yourself. And I've always been the type that I think we don't want to rely on one stream of income. And so if you're open, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Um, and why I'm so excited about it. And
I
then
love
just
that.
another thing that I want to excite Alessa is that our team is the number one earning in the, you know, in the world, and we have the strategies, the tools, and resources to help you really, and then you're leveraging your team. Like when you're busy working, you can invite, you know, your pet, your family, your anybody to this opportunity like this that we do. And so you're leveraging your team. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And we have a group of amazing, a lot of clinicians in our team, but a lot of like-minded that are really just lift you up. So there's nowhere that you would get something like this that you grow not only personally and professionally and financially. And so it's a great opportunity.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I couldn't have said
You
it
can
any
hear
better.
my frozen
We
now?
should have just knew you should have run the whole call. I love that. No, we can hear you. It's probably me. Can you guys hear me? I couldn't have said it any better. That was awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, just I think so. It's just a little slow.
A little bit of lag. All right. Well, so we can wrap up. I know the Zoom's been really sketchy tonight. I really appreciate you guys sticking with us. So bow on it with a summary of what legacy income really is, right? And legacy income to me, there's three components to our compensation model that I think is really profound. And that is the upfront linear income. You know, we people who come in and need income tomorrow. I know that you shared the story about a nurse practitioner who came in and she, but wanted to also be able to, I'm getting rich with our teammate income. And I'm seeing a lot of really funny faces. And I think that my connection is really bad. So I'm going to end on that and just say that, if not now, when? I can tell you right now that I am forever grateful that I had the foresight to lock arms with this company well before I needed to make the choice to leave where I was in my career. And so, it's not that you have to leave your job today or tomorrow, but I can tell you, you walk with a different posture when you know you have an additional income stream and security behind you to give you choice. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Whatever questions you guys have, be sure to go back to the person that invited you to the call tonight. We'll invite you dial into the same Zoom line tomorrow at 8:30, hopefully a much better Zoom connection, and learn about the products. All right. You guys have a good evening.